Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is something I've been thinking of doing for quite a while, and I've been hoping to see if it works. It's just basically called The Wrap. It's going to be about some stories. I'm going to give some comment about things that have happened in the news, about stuff that's come up, and I think just maybe give some comment and stories that don't always make it onto YouTube. I thought I'd try and wrap some of them up in a weekly segment if it works. So let me know if you think it works, if it doesn't work, what you should like to be seeing, etc. And if you've got anything to contribute, you're welcome to send it to me at brendannell@gmail.com or on Twitter, etc. And I'll see if I can add it to this collection every week. But as I say, it's an idea. Hoping it works, and I'm hoping you enjoy this. So let me know what you think of this first episode and what you reckon it's going to be. Well, let's start off with the first interesting one that's going on in Ulster. They've obviously had their problems with sacking their coach in the middle of the season. Stephen Kitsoff leaving as well. But now it seems Frans Ludeker may be the candidate to take over there. And according to quite a few reports, you're seeing Frans's name come up quite a lot. Of course, he's been one of the more unsung coaches. Double Super Rugby winning coach. Really did well. I worked a lot with him at the Bulls. And how can I put it? He was a very nice guy to work with, and probably in the coaching world that's filled with egos. I don't think I need to tell you that. There's a lot of coaches who believe in themselves, and it's probably part of the job when you coach in international rugby. He was just genuinely a nice guy, and never seemed to push himself for jobs. And I always felt he was a bit shortchanged in terms of how he was seen in the coaching world, etc. He's of course also gone on in Japan, won the Japanese championship with Kubota Spears last year. Was the top candidate for the Japanese job before Eddie Jones swooped in and took that one. So it'd be nice to see Frans get another gig, and really nice to see him if he does get that job as well. I mean, I must admit, I'd be very happy to see Frans in that job. According to the Belfast Telegraph, though, he's not a shoo-in for the job. Richie Murphy, the current interim coach, who's coaching them at the moment, and then the former British and Irish Lions, Jared Payne, is also one of the guys who's been considered. So it'd be interesting to see what they decide and who they decide to bring in. But Frans has got a wealth of experience, and he certainly won't let the team down. So let's see what happens there. So that's the first story. Let's move on. Staying in Japan, might as well. There was this lovely clip of Bernard Foley being charged down on a conversion kick. So that was quite interesting. And we saw it obviously last year with Ches and Colby charging down Thomas Ramos in the World Cup. But this one, I think Bernard Foley's probably at fault here. He took way too long for the kick. But have a look for yourself and you let me know what you think.
静まり返る札幌ドームです。一人ちょっと早かったかな。どうかな。これは認められるか。認められたんですね。そうですね。モーションにもうキックのモーション入っていたので、もうすぐに出て。ちょっとチェスリン・コルビーのシーンありましたが、それやったのが今日100試合目の山下楽平キャプテン。
Sticking with game clips as well, there was this awesome clip from the Toulon-Toulouse game of the crowd getting involved with the chant. I'll leave it up to you. Watch this and tell me what you think of that. Now back to local. My colleague John Goliath, who works at independent newspapers, posted this clip. I've seen a lot of players take out players and great tackles, but watch the Schoolboy Tackle over here, and you tell me if it doesn't remind you of a movie in the 80s, Wax On, Wax Off. Interesting story that came up in Wales Online, and these stories come out sort of every couple of years about the most well-paid players, etc. And according to the story, Andre Pollard is still the world's highest-paid player, or one of the highest-paid players. Sorry, I'm reading it upside down. He's in the top 10 at £610,000. Sure, that's quite a bit of money. Buy a few McDonald's on that one. But he's at the bottom of the list. Stephen Luatua from Samoa, 620,000 according to this list. Anton Dupont on 700,000. Can't believe he's a bit low. I think he'd probably be bigger. Dan Bigger on 800,000 at Toulon. That's a nice pack of change. Sia Kulisi on 800,000 according to this at Toulon, and I think Sia's probably earned that money as well. Maritoje 800,000 as well. At Racing 92. Faf de Klerk on 900,000 in Japan. Geez, Faf, you can buy a few houses with that at the Yokohama Cannon Eagles. But and Cheslin Colby 937,000. Cheslin, obviously, I think he would probably. There was talk that he was earning €1 million a year when he was at Toulon. Obviously, that's probably gone down a bit since then. But still, 937 is not bad. Finn Russell's the first one to hit €1 million according to this list. And to be very honest, he's probably worth every penny as well. Interestingly enough, coming in at 1.2 when he's going to go to Racing 92 is the one South Africans love to hate, Owen Farrell. So, after 15 years at Saracens, he's moved to Racing 92, 1.2 million euros. That's pretty decent. And he's apparently now the top paid player in world rugby. So, make of that what you will. For us guys who aren't who are hoping for the lottery, professional sportsmen deserve to get paid well. But that's eye-watering that once you see those figures. But turning back home, Ruan Pienaar got his first coaching job now as well at the Cheetahs, going in the under 21. New director of rugby, France Steyn. France Ludica. Anyway, France Steyn told us on our podcast To the Last Drop a couple of months ago, in fact, that he was hoping to get Ruan involved in coaching. It makes a lot of sense. Ruan is exceptionally talented player and really has a lot to offer, so it'd be great to see him around the coaching job as well. Then at the Lions, Julian Ring told us how the Boks had inspired them to chase the scrum and how they're trying to build a top class scrum in the mold of the Springboks. Have a watch.
I think all of us have watched Jason, and that's what you can see with the Boks as well. Their toughest scrumming opposition is on Wednesdays, not on Saturdays. So I really believe that's the strength to our pack at the moment is our in the week. These guys really push each other hard and make each other better. So that's lucky for us to say we can use our subs, we can use our impact players to come on, like you said, a bomb squad, and you can bring them on and you can expect the same set piece. And then if they are against a little bit like a second string front row, we should get more dominance. So it's good to see that we've been getting that, and it's something that we look forward to still get better.
Next week, of course, means the Sharks are going to take on Clermont at the Stoop in London. A big fixture, and hoping all the expats are coming out there. It's quite interesting the way they've been marketing it. Make the Stoop our Stoop is the one, which I thought was quite funny when I first saw it. And as you can see from the poster here, it's pretty decent, sort of put together by the Sharks as such. And of course, this weekend on Friday night, the Sharks are first playing Scarlets, and Tane Plumtree's, John Plumtree's son, has been having a bit of banter, and the coach wasn't having much of it in his team announcement. And this is he said, especially with the fact that Tane said if he wins the game, he'll probably sit at the head of the household, the head of the table. Listen to John enjoying the banter a bit.
And just say, as long as he's safe at the end of it and not injured. He's come back from a long injury. It's only his second game back. It's be honest with you, it's not a game that I was really looking forward to. It's sort of one of those ones where I haven't been in this situation before as a father with a son on the opposition side. It's not something I've over enjoy, to be honest. And I'm just looking forward to the game to come and go, and hopefully we've had a win. Like, he'll want to have a win. I think he's already fired a couple of shots in the press. He said if he beats the Sharks, he'll get to sit at the head of the table, back with the family. And I've already told him that he knows his place at the table and will never be at the head, not while I'm alive. And I think he also said that he was better than me as a player, which I had to giggle about, because he never saw me play as a player. And the fact that I have taught him a lot, so maybe, the masters taught the student to be better, which is great. There's been a little bit of banter about it, and Tane's come and slept the night with me in the hotel once or twice, which has been great. We've got a really close relationship, and it's been good having him around. So, but no, we'll keep him safe. We'll look after him. But I think there's been a bit of chat. So it's good to have him. It's good to spend some time with him down here.
Next weekend is, of course, also the big one, Leicester against Northampton Saints. We're going to see a big game there at Croke Park, 82,000 sold out. But interestingly enough, Leinster have decided to ban alcohol in the stadium. Or not Leinster, or I suppose the authorities should put that, have banned alcohol. So you're going to have 82,000 very thirsty fans not even being able to get a hands on a Guinness. That must be terrible. I think sacrilege in Ireland. But you got to feel for them. Of course, the autumn fixtures were also announced this week. If we have a look at them, just going to get them up here. I must admit, I'm not quite keen on this. If you look at this fixture list, the pink and white and black doesn't really work for me as a fixtures list. It feels very convoluted. But in week 1 on the 2nd of November, England-New Zealand should be an interesting one. Scotland-Fiji as well that day. The only 2 games for that week. We might see 1 or 2 added still on there. Then the first official week of the autumn fixtures, the Autumn Nations Series as they call it, sees Ireland take on New Zealand. That's going to be a huge one. England, Australia, another big game as well. South Africa, of course, are going to play Scotland that day as well. France have a game against Japan. Italy, Argentina, and Wales, Fiji. I think that will also be quite an interesting one as well. Wales, Fiji, but Ireland, New Zealand, and England, Australia should be quite good. South Africa, Scotland, always entertaining as well. So that'll set the tone for the week. I think Ireland will probably have a few. Feel they've got a few battles to win there. They face Argentina in week 2. Tricky game for them. Pumas, depending on what team they send, will be a very tricky one. Scotland play Portugal. Now that's going to be an interesting game to watch, just to see how Portuguese rugby can bring it that same level as they did at the World Cup. We're going to see them in Bloemfontein against the Springboks this year. Of course, the big battle that week is the 9 o'clock at night game. France against New Zealand. We'd love to see that one as well. South Africa against England, to whet your appetite before that. And a couple of tough ones. Wales, Australia in the middle of the afternoon. And starting the weekend off, Italy, Georgia. And I would fancy the Georgians to give Italy a go there. So that should be interesting as well. So a lot of interesting fixtures. Week 3 sees France, Argentina as the late game. Ireland, Fiji. Also not such a huge game. I think Ireland should win that one quite easily. Italy host New Zealand. The All Blacks should take that one. Current form. And England play Japan. Of course, Wales play South Africa. That should be an interesting one as well. And Scotland play Australia. So week 3 is not, I suppose, week 2 is the bigger week of all of these. And then Ireland play Australia on the 30th of November in week 4. We haven't seen any others. I don't think the Springboks are going to be adding any other fixtures to their list. As such, I think that's probably it for them. So it's going to be a very interesting November. It's a tough year for everybody involved, especially given the URC and everywhere that we're in right now. And just for this week, saying that, let's close it off on a funny note. This was JP and Ron Smith's a TikTok video of their teammate, the 39-year-old Willem Alberts, who I must tell you is one of the best characters, the bone collector. Great guy to deal with. But this is how they saw him on TikTok, and we'll finish up there. Let me know what you thought of this rap, what you'd like to see more of in this, and what sort of discussions you'd like me to have, and just what you thought of the general concept. So it'd be great to see what you say. That's it for this week. We'll chat to you guys next week. Cheers.
But it's much too short.